The biologists observed that some ribosomes exist in free form in the cytoplasm, while others are bound to the endoplasmic reticulum in eukaryotes or cell membrane in the prokaryotes. The free ribosomes synthesize cytoplasmic and mitochondrial proteins, whereas the membrane-bound ribosomes synthesize integral membrane proteins, lysosomal proteins, and secretory proteins. The reason why some ribosomes bind to the endoplasmic reticulum or the membrane was not clear at first. One possibility was that cells have distinct kinds of ribosomes, that is, free ribosomes and bound ribosomes. So these two are different kinds of ribosomes. Studies by Gunter Blobel and David D. Sabatini in 1971 indicated that free and bound ribosomes appeared to be the same. There is no difference between these two types of ribosomes. Therefore, there must be some other explanation for the same. Blobel and Sabatini proposed the signal hypothesis to explain how cells determine whether a protein will be synthesized in a free ribosome or in the membrane-bound ribosome. According to this hypothesis, free and membrane-bound ribosomes are identical. Secondly, the protein synthesis always begins on the free ribosome. And the third point of this hypothesis is nascent secretory, transmembrane or lysosomal proteins have sequence of 20 to 30 amino acids at their amino terminus that act as signals to bind the ribosome to the endoplasmic reticulum or cell membrane. Ribosomes only bind to the endoplasmic reticulum when synthesizing proteins with signal sequence. तो इसका मतलब है कि प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस सेम है, सिर्फ ये एक सिग्नल सीक्वेंस है एडिशनल चीज़ जो कि अगर उसमें है तो राइबोसोम जो है वो बाइंड करेगा, अदरवाइज राइबोसोम जो है वो एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम या मेम्ब्रेन के साथ बाइंड नहीं करेगा. Although signal sequences vary from one protein to another, certain common features in these signal sequences can be recognized. Signal sequences can be divided into three parts. One, a short positively charged N-terminal region. Second, a central region containing 7 to 13 hydrophobic amino acid residues. And thirdly, a more polar C-terminal region that includes a cleavage site. Only polypeptides that have signal sequence can be inserted into the endoplasmic reticulum's membrane. The amino end of a nascent polypeptide with a signal sequence requires the assistance of three components to pass into the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum or to be integrated into the membrane. तो इस प्रोटीन को अगर ये पॉलीपेप्टाइड जो है वो एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम की ल्यूमन में या जो कैविटी है उसमें जाना चाहती है या ये किसी मेम्ब्रेन का इंटेग्रल पार्ट बनना चाहती है, तो उसके लिए इसको जो है वो थ्री कंपोनेंट्स की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. These components are the signal recognition particle, which is called SRP, the SRP receptor, which is called SR, and a protein conducting channel or translocon. The components required for SRP cycle are as follow. First is the signal recognition particle, SRP. It consists of 6 proteins, namely SRP9, SRP14, SRP19, 54, 68 and SRP72. And these proteins are named according to their molecular masses. And in addition to these proteins, it also contains a 7S RNA. The SRP54 subunit is especially noteworthy because the guanine nucleotide binding site and the signal sequence binding site are located within it, within this protein SRP54. SRP receptors, which is the second component, contains two GTP binding polypeptide subunits, a peripheral membrane protein SR alpha and an integral membrane protein SR. And the third component is translocon, the proton conducting channel, which is made of three polypeptides, that is SEC61 alpha, SEC61 beta and SEC61 gamma. This translocon acts as a passive conduit for polypeptides. So here you can see this small blue colored, this is a signal polypeptide. This signal peptide is present, then this SRP assembly, it can bind to this signal, and once it is bound to this signal, then this ribosome can bind to the endoplasmic reticulum membrane, and this is the translocon, and this translocon contains alpha and beta and gamma may be behind that. So these, and then it can only transfer protein to this membrane, inside the lumen of this membrane or across the membrane. So here you can see again, so this is SRP, and this is the protein which is transferred to the lumen, and this SRP is released once this protein is inside the lumen. Secretory and lysosomal proteins pass completely through the endoplasmic reticulum membrane and are directed to their ultimate destination by biochemical modifications such as glycosylation that takes place in the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum and in the Golgi apparatus. Integral protein membranes have one or more hydrophobic sequences that allow them to move laterally across the translocon and into the membrane, causing the polypeptide chain to embed itself within the membrane.